Hello friends, welcome to the Data Dictionary. Today's class we are going to discuss what is random variable and its data types. But before going to this session, let me make it clear that what we have discussed in the previous class. Okay, so in our previous class we discussed what is my project life cycle, okay, and what are do's and don'ts, and yeah, the steps to be understand of where I need to learn my data sets, from which step I need to start understanding of data sets till what end, and then we learn, yes, what is sample, what is population, right? So sample is a small set of population where we are collecting the data for our researcher for our analysis. But the question is, after collecting the data, what I need to do? After collecting the data, what I need to do? So understanding the random variable, understanding the data type. So basically, according to our understanding, I mean, according to the project requirement, we may work with several data types. The first one is we may require to work with either structured data or unstructured data. Unstructured data. Let me make it with the proper spelling. Yeah, we may require to work with either structured data or structured data at the beginning of your project. So, well, by looking at the data itself, you should realize, are the project which I'm launching here is related to structural information or unstructured information. To get that understanding, you need to categorize your data, okay, and you need to start up your analysis. So I will talk about the differences exactly of what is unstructured data in my next session going forward, whenever I have a chance. Now we'll focus only today on structured data. So what is the structured data? Structured data means it should contains with the proper rows and columns. With the proper rows and columns. So how many rows and how many columns it may require, there is no limit. Okay, it should be a properly designed with the rows and columns. That means a row should have some identification number. Row should have an identification number. Identification number. Let's imagine, you know, identification number. Yes. So in the current scenario, how many patients of other people are getting corona affected? So each person will have a corona or positive or negative based on his symptoms, whether he has a cold or cough or whatever the things. So each person is an identification number. Each patient, each applicant. If I take some banking domain, each customer depends upon the scenario to scenario. Okay, wherever you are working, each row will have an identification number, ID number, or customer number, or Aadhaar number, or whatever, some number, a unique number. We'll call it as unique number. So whenever you have a unique number, okay, so those specific row will called as an information of that specific unique person number. Okay, those information is completely related to that particular person. Okay, those things will be called as row. All right, those will be called as row. So what is column? A column will have the information of that specific person. I mean, that specific person is a customer or what. Let's imagine if it's a banking domain. Okay, if we open an Excel. So how does an Excel looks like? Which contains a rows and columns. Which contains a rows columns. So here, ID, and let's say the customer account number 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the rows. These are the rows. And each person's information I want to understand. Yeah, when he was joined in the bank. Let's say joining date, when he was taken the first time account into the bank. Joining date. How much of money initially pay. Let's take as initial pay. So how much he was paid as deposit. How much initial pay. Joining date, how much initial pay. So the salary is kind of what account? Salary account or some business account. Salary account or business account or personal account, depends what kind of account that he was maintaining. And what are the other information he may have? Yeah. By the end, how much of money he received from other sources. Maybe he deposited, okay, deposits. Maybe he deposited or he got received from other bank or from other customer, from some other sources, other bank or any other different places. So how much of money? Able to understand? Yes. So these are the different information I have. So how much of transaction he withdraw for the first time? How much he withdraw? In what specific month? In what specific row? That's other case again. So how much of month withdraw he finally? And what is the balance? And any loans on his name or what? If it is there, yes. If it is not there, I mean, if I take a 5 years information, within this 5 years information, does he take any loan or not loan? What is the balance amount he's maintaining? How much of withdrawal he's doing in a month? How much of deposits he made in a month? What kind of? These are the information of what is. So each column, if I'm talking about the banking domain, you can imagine like that. So these are the banking domain if I'm talking about. So like that, each person will have the information in the bank as well. Each person will have the information in the bank. So these are rows and these are what? Columns. All right. So so when I have the proper information like this, like I mentioned, yes, joining date, okay, or balance maintaining, okay, and salary, how much of salary he is getting, whatever. These are the information. So these are columns. So whenever you see this kind of information in your data set, that means when you are pulling this information from through SQL or some other, or the people who are giving you, handovering your data set to you in any company. So you need to understand the data set is like a structured data or unstructured. So how does unstructured data? I'll talk in another session. Let's try to focus on the structured data first. Being a beginner, you need to focus first on the structured data. So whenever I have the proper rows and columns, yes, my structured data will be looks like this. Structured data. Now after that, what should be there done? Now you need to try to understand your structured data. So the next step that once you launch to this your software, maybe you are R using or you are Python using or any other tool you are using. Once you are launching this software, so once you are launching this data to your software, try to understand the data. Try to understand it. So what to be understand here? Now the question is, yeah, what kind of data will be available? There are many ways. Many ways, not many. I mean, you need to categorize. However the data it represents to you. You need to categorize into two things. So let's say, so I will call this each column as a random variable, guys. Random variable, because statistically, terminology, as per the terminology, we will call each column as this column and rows is a computer science language. Statistically, mathematically, we'll call each column as random variable. So my random, so I need to begin my analysis. After getting the data into my hands, I need to begin my analysis. But where to start? What to start? How to start? Those are the questions. So understand each column is what data type. So random variable or data types. You can imagine like that. Different people will have different point of explanation. Different will, I mean, they will explain with a different author's understanding. But this lecture is talking about with a truly a specific statistical knowledge, not with just a blindly explaining. Okay, so the explanation which I'm going to give here. So here my random variable is divided into two parts. That means I need to understand my data is in the form of what data types. So here, first one is continuous data. Continuous data. So what is continuous? I will let you know. And the other one is discrete data. Discrete data. So what are this continuous data? That means I need to understand my column is related to continuous data or some other kind of data. So continuous data. So what could be your continuous data? So anything which can be measured. Anything which can be measured using mentioning in units. Anything which can be measured mentioning in units. What does it mean? What does it mean? Examples. So that means anything measured can be units or in scale. Using is a is with respect to their scale. So examples. So how we are going to calculate a height of a person? Height of a person. So how you are going to measure the height of the person? You can tell like 2-3 ways. Like 160 centimeters of height. 160 centimeters of height, or 172 centimeters of height, or else you can also call as like 1.6 meter. People will, if I want to present this thing, height in meters, I need to present like this: 1.6 meter or 1.5 meter, depends upon the height. So either you can take through centimeters or you can take, because but observe the things. Wherever you use, you are specifying some units. Weight of the person. Weight of the person. So how we are going to measure? Again, 75 kgs or 83 kgs. This is how you are going to represent. Maybe you can mention the grams also, but grams is not suitable for this weight variable. Depends upon what variable that you are choosing. I am using the height of a person or weight of the person. So if I choose weight of the gold, normally people will purchase gold in any shop with some grams. Never purchase kgs of gold at one shot. Most of the customers will purchase the grams. Depends upon what kind of product that you are making purchased or calculating the number. You are specifying those as 10 grams of gold. If you look out in the Google, they'll mention 10 grams of gold price is what today. They don't mention the 1 kg gold price is what today. Depends upon what product that you are taking and how you are going to measure. All right, this is also weight, this is also weight. Depends on the what you are measuring, weight of that specific product. Okay, let's take another example. Yes, any more? Let's take speed. How much you are traveling with speed? How much of faster that you are traveling? Let's say 50 kilometers per hour. How much faster you are making traveling? 50 kilometers. So you can be 50 or 51, 52, depends. It can be variable. It can be varies. Yes, sir. But everywhere we are mentioning this. How much of volume? How much of water that you are taking? How much of volume of water? And during in summer, how much of volume? Volume of water. How much we should take? In general, people will suggest 1.5 liter should take. Now you can think of yourself how much you are taking. So here, look out. So always when I collect in the data, always I will mention with some specific units. If I don't specify that units, the other person will don't understand what you are trying to say. Right? If I say my age is, let's say 23. So if I need to mention 23 days or years. So I need to mention yes, 23 years. That's the meaning. Clear? So these are what? So whenever you have the data set here, you need to decide that, yeah, how many columns are related to my continuous data set here? How many columns are related to continuous data set? Okay, yeah. After that, let's try to understand what are discrete cases. Again, discrete are categorized into two parts. Discrete are categorized into two parts. One is countable data. Okay, countable data. Like, and if I take in the programming language, okay, in any programming language, they will treat them this one as integer. Okay, and what else? Classification. I'll tell again what is integer. Let's remove this integer for time being, because when I discuss again programming language, how the data type will be measured, will be saying in a programming language, I'll tell you again. I will try to connect this theory to a programming language, because computer science, when the people are developing the computer science, they have converted this mathematical original text language into another way. But more or less, all are same. So in the continuous data will be called as what in programming? In generally, people will call as float. Countable data will be called as integer. Classification data will be called as string. But I will tell you in a clearly again in the next class during my programming language sessions. At that moment, I'll recall this theory again. I will make you show them. Okay, let's come back with our original subject. Okay, yeah. So how it was represented in textbooks. So yeah, what is countable? So countable. So there, what is the definition here? So anything which can be countable. Anything which can be countable. Examples. Yes. How many persons you stay in home? How many persons you stay in home? So generally, now your answer will be, yeah, you will say either 3 or 4 or 5, depends upon the how much of bigger family that you have. But will you able to say we people are 4.5 people will stay in my home? It's not right, right? So you should say either 4 or 5. We can't say I have the 4.5 people. It's a rounded value, a rounded value. But possibly in the continuous data, it is possible. I have purchased 10.5 grams of gold. If I say the statement, there is a meaningful sentence. But if I say in my home, we have 3.5 people, which is not correct. Right? Let's take another example. Yeah. How many transactions you made? How many transactions you made? Maybe 20 or 25. Can you say 20.5 transactions I have made here? We can't say either it is successful or not successful. You done or not. That's it. So you can't say 20.5 transactions I made. You can say either, yeah, I made 20 or 21. That's it. How many benches you have? How many tables you have in your home? How many laptops you have? How many mobiles you are using? How many SIM cards you are using? How many calls? Number of calls. Yeah, this is perfect. Number of calls. Incoming. How many you are getting incoming? Maybe daily you can get, let's say, 5 to 10. Depends upon the business, what you are using, where you are working. Number of calls of outgoing. How many calls you are going? Outgoing calls. Outgoing calls. How many calls you will do directly? 20 or 25? Can you say 20.3 calls I made today? 21.9 calls I made today? We can't say like that. Either you should say either 20 calls I made it or 21 calls. That's it. So always here there is no units, but it will be always countable. You can count it. 20 calls are done or 21 calls. How many times you are going during this lockdown period outside? Huh? You need to think yourself, right? How many times you are going outside from your home during this lockdown period? I'm expecting 0 from everyone. Yes. Okay. Yeah, this is what countable data. Now, what is classification data? So classification data again, yeah, let me write here. Yes. So what is classification data? Example. So everything which is classified, every row is to be classified. Every row of my data set is to be classified. Let's take an example. So each row, if I take a gender in the banking domain again, banking domain set if I talk, okay? So each customer will have either it should be male or female, right? One second, let me write it again here. It's gone, gender, male or female. Yes. The place is not adjusted. Let me adjust here. Yeah, now this is fine. All right. Now gender. Now, what other things? Yeah, what kind of account that you are using? Savings account or yeah, what kind of account? If I talk about again, the same thing, kind of account. This one, salary or business. Yeah, the kind of account, saving account or business account, saving account or business. Depends upon the depends upon the usage of your account. What kind of account that you have? You can in this case you can't say that yeah I have 10. I'm not asking your number of accounts. I'm asking what kind of account that you are maintaining. It's a savings account, a business account, a salary account, right? So let's say another example. Have you listened my past class or not? Have you listened my past class or not? The previous session which I shared in the YouTube, have you listened or not? If I ask what you should say now you should know the answer. Either it could be yes or no, right? If I talk, yeah, do we have, let's take another example. Like India won the match or not? If you ask, what is the status? Yeah, India won the match or not? What you will say? India won or not? So what you will say? Answer either yes or no. So everything is being classified not only with the two types. It can be more than two types. Let's say another example. From which state that you are belongs. When I am talking about the banking, definitely location is most important, right? Because location is most important. From which location that you are, you will say, yeah, I will be from Hyderabad. Or else if you are permanent location from some other places, like you can say Bangalore or Chennai. So my field should be, yeah, my field, the column here, the location column should be allowed with this kind of information. Location, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai. So categorizing again. These are categorizing. So this is what this is also called as what? Discrete data is also called as what? Categorical data in some places. Categorical data. In some other example, let's say how much of rating that you are giving to a movie review. Yeah. If I ask the scale, how much you give, how much you will give for the movie which is recently released. So what you will tell that either 1 or 5. 1 stands for, let's say, poor, very poor. Or else 5 if you say, that means let's say not 5, let's take 3. Okay. Yeah, let's not take too much higher. Yeah, 2 stays as good. Okay, and 3 say as excellent. Or else let's remove good also. Average. Yeah, this is perfect. 1 is poor, 2 is average, 3 is excellent. So if I ask you select any one code out of this after moving the after watching the movie, what you will say? Either you will say 1, 2, 3. So does not mean that here my data is in 1, 2, 3. It is a numerical thing. I cannot run into the other variable type. So you need to understand, yeah, you're categorizing that movie review is categorizing into either any of these three types. So you should decide that which one is best. So should I give 3 or should I give 1 or should I give 2? So depends upon the how data is getting collected. You should decide that my data, my random variable is what data type out of all these threes. Out of all these threes. The threes in the sense here countable or classification. Of course, both is comes in one only, but I am telling that yeah, my random variable is column is of continuous data type, or my random variable is countable data type classification. Why we should understand? Because based on this understanding only, you are going to get into the next step of your analysis. That is what understanding the data is more important. Based on the understanding of the data, now you are going to take the next step. Which one is best suitable? Which graphs to be produced? What should be my next step? That is what. So apart from this, in the recent times, we came across something new called textual data. Now you should get it out. Now you should get a question. So we have not discussed textual data. My textual data will comes under here or here or here. How should I put? Where I need to categorize this? So again, I will tell here, depends on how my input of textual data received to me, I will work it accordingly. That means, first of all, I need to make sure that my textual data is an unstructured textual data or structured textual data. Based on that, I will need to work on some other analysis. So at this moment, I'm not talking about the textual data because again, dealing with the textual data will be different. So I can also convert my textual data into this way or this way. I mean, continuous data or countable data or classification data based on my choice. Based on my choice of my analysis. Now, at this moment, I'm not talking how to process it because it's a completely different way of working. There is something called a natural language processing or text analytics. So going forward in my sessions, I will talk about this textual data processing, how does it work. But finally, what I will do, I will make my conversion of this textual data, okay, converting into this, any of these three categories only. There is no other way. You need to convert, you need to realize that the data set looks like what, and based on that, I will follow up my analysis. So here, if I talk, yeah, joining date. Again, this is something specific. Yeah, let's make it clear. So joining date is what? How should I convert? I mean, join date is a date, na? When you have joined, taking an account. You may join in 2011 with the September 9th date. You may take in the account in June 5th, somewhere around some year. So where I need to categorize this date? Such kind of, date is not related to continuous. You cannot say it's in units. You cannot say it's an integer. Hence, you need to imagine that it's a classification data. But working with dates with another thing, another type of analysis. So I'm not talking at this moment how to deal with dates, because we have something else. We have something else called time series analysis. Going forward in my other sessions, I will tell how to deal with the dates. So I am currently make a point. I am categorizing these dates into classification only. Depends upon the scenario situation. Yeah, how to make use of this dates data in other class we'll discuss. Okay. And yes, initial pay. So what could be the initial pay means what? How much the people will pay here? Let's say he may pay 1500 rupees. So that means what? Rupees. So what kind of column it is? He may pay 2,500. He paid 10,000. He has good amount in his pocket. He got 10,000. Some other pay 1 crore. NRA. Directly he created an account and he passes some amount, some transaction. Depends upon the person to person. Maybe 4,000 only. All right. Yeah. Salary does business. Yeah, it's a salary. It's a business. It's a salary again. It's a business. Depends upon kind of account. So deposits. So how much of deposits he made, or let's say every month. Initial pay is so. Let's imagine this is the month of related to this is April. Huh? Yeah, April. Today April 30 financial year actually. Yeah, April 30. How much of deposits he made during April 30 between let's say 2020, 1920, 19 to 20. Let's say like this. So that means till date, till April 30, you can imagine till April 30 during the period of 2019-20. So how much he made till? So you can imagine that, yeah, maybe like 1,50,000 kind of thing. Let's imagine. Yes, he may do some 25 lakhs. Depends upon the person to person. So deposits again. This is also what rupees. Withdraw. How much he made withdraw? Definitely withdraw will be less than the deposit only. Okay, and how much of balance he is maintaining? How much of any loans are there or not? Yes, he has some loan. No loan. He has some car loan. He doesn't have any loans. So what kind of column it is? What kind of columns is it is, guys? Yeah. So this is loan is having yes or no is a classification variable. And deposits, salary, business, sorry, deposits and initial pay is continuous data. Because we are talking in rupees. And salary and business type is again classification data. Imagine I have, let's remove this one balance. Let's take number of transactions. Perfect, na? Number of transactions you have done in this whole year. You made 20, 21, 30, 40. Depends. It's a number of transactions. So it is what data type it is now? Yeah, countable. So the based on the data set which I am received here, okay, I need to categorize each column is a continuous data type because for my analysis, this ID or joining date are similar, guys. So I'm not going to make much useful for me this kind of information related to date or related to ID information. So hence, this one is a special case. You can imagine special case related to the classification data, but you are not going to work any analysis at this moment. My focus is on the most important columns. So I need to categorize my columns are related to continuous data or discrete data. If it is discrete data, again, like, yeah, it is a countable data or classification data. So after understanding of this information only, then you're going to run into the next step of analysis. What should I do? Based on my client questions, what should I do? So how we are going to deal with those things after understanding the data types, those will be discussed in the next session. Hope you have you have liked my session, the understanding of how the real-time data set should real-time data set should be understood. And yeah, please subscribe and please like it if you are understood and well. And also please ask your friends to subscribe it as well, because data science is the only thing which is going to lead in the coming seasons, in the coming world, in the coming years. Please, 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 I'm saying again, please ask your friends also to subscribe so that my continuous sessions will be, you can listen without missing. And ask me any questions if you have anything. Okay, guys. So let's meet up again in another session. After understanding the data, what should I do? What should I do with my data? Those things will be discussed again in the next session. Okay. Thank you very much.